Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding for further traffic clearance.
Check out Kristen's new website, MagicalJourneysVacations.com, for all your vacation needs. Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and more.
Thank you for traveling with us.
MagicalJourneysVacations.com. Have her book your magical vacation today.
You're listening to a Weeby Geeks Network podcast.
The Dining at Disney podcast. The Dining at Disney podcast. Your ultimate source about the wonderful world of dining at the Disneyland and Walt Disney World resorts.
If you are what you eat, then I only want to eat the good stuff.
Kristen Go and Jay Bratton are your guides on this culinary adventure.
We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabaret.
Join them as they discuss the latest food news, expert tips, recommendations, and trip planning advice related to Disney food and dining. From quick service to fine dining, you will discover all the best restaurants and food as they hungrily explore the Disney parks.
It brings folks together from all walks of life.
The Dining at Disney podcast. And now, your host, Kristen Go and Jay Bratton.
Welcome to another episode of the Dining at Disney podcast, your ultimate source for delicious discussion about dining at Disneyland, Disney World, and Disney Cruise Line. I'm your host, Kristen, and Jay is out today, but joining me from Disney Parks podcast is Tony Caselnova. How's everything going, Tony?
I am doing delicious.
You're doing delicious.
I'm doing delicious.
I like that one. It's always good to have you back. Today, we're going to be discussing your trip over to do the Barista Bootcamp at Lickety Split. I'm going to talk a little bit about Lickety Split because I did actually try their menu last time I was there.
Oh, good.
In October. So you got to eat a little bit of their food.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, though, thank you so much for downloading the show on iTunes, streaming on Stitcher, as well as watching this on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Also, if you would like to support us, it's easy to do. Other than listening to the show and reading the blog, you can shop our affiliate links. We're affiliated with the Disney Store, Garden Grocers, and Jelly Belly, as well as you can pick up one of the Dining at Disney ebooks. So, we have no appetizers today, no real big news to talk about, but we do have a big meal, which is Lickety Split. And I guess let's start off with just talking a little bit about what Lickety Split is, where it is, and then we'll get into the whole Barista Bootcamp you got to attend.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so it's located in Four Seasons, and it's I love that place.
I know, I do too.
And it's so easy. Like as soon as you walk in, it's like head to the right, go past like the concierge and check in, and it's like right there on the left. So it's not hard to find. Yeah. And now they're open. It's just during lunch hours, right?
Yeah, it's until about I think 4. 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not open very late.
I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 6.
Yeah, they're open early. I think like 6 to 4, something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Now, have you tried their food other than doing the
pastries and gelato? Yes. Yeah.
They've got sandwiches and salads, too, that are really good.
Yeah. I don't know. If you want a sandwich, go out to PB&G.
Now, see, but if it's raining, if it's pouring down rain, you might not want to go out to PB&G.
That's true. Yeah.
But, which is why I ended up going to Lickety Split, because PB&G, it was raining.
Oh, was it? No. Yeah, that's no fun then.
Next time. Yeah. It is on the list to do next time. Because that menu looks incredible.
Yeah. And I heard they just got a new chef, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is chef number 3, I think.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But I have to say, the food and beverage director, Mr. Wancha, wants only the best people. Now, I think the first guy left because he just did something. He wanted to do something different, or he went somewhere else. The second one, I don't know the whole story, and I'm not going to speculate why he left. But the first guy was interesting because they have a lot of smoke and barbecue things out there. We're probably getting off topic, but he had like his menu was in two parts. It was homage and treason, which I thought was very cool. So it was an homage to barbecue and treason to barbecue. So it was all this wacky stuff like barbecued tofu, which you're like, what?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and I thought that meant. Go ahead.
So the homage was the more traditional, like pulled pork and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other side was all this crazy barbecue stuff. Unfortunately, that was not there very long. And also, they were looking for a little lighter menu because it is next to the pool. You don't want maybe so much hearty barbecue things for lunch. So then they lightened up the menu, and then I haven't been back since. So I'm due to go back for a revisit. Maybe I'll go PB&G for lunch, and then I'll go to Ravello for dinner.
Oh,
day.
Nice! I love Ravello. That's so good. Yeah. But we have a question in the chat because we do this via Blab, and it is about where is the location of Four Seasons, and it's located within the gates of Disney, and it's off of I'm trying to think of the name of the street.
Vista Boulevard.
Is it Vista?
Vista Boulevard, Bonnet Creek.
Okay.
And Vista Boulevard.
Okay. Because I know that if you drive past, Old Key West and all of those places till it dead ends, and then that'll take you right into, it'll say Golden Oaks, and that's where Four Seasons is. So it's it has an amazing location, and the 17th floor restaurant, which is Kappa, has the most amazing view of Disney property because you can see fireworks going on at 3 parks. So not many places get that view. Yeah. So.
It is a really nice location. And, the Golden Oaks is Disney's version of, high-end luxury vacation. And the Four Seasons is building their own. And theirs are going to cost even more than Disney's. I think Disney's are like 1.2. And I think Four Seasons is going to be closer to $10 million each. So
I hope that comes with an annual pass.
I know the Golden Oaks Disney versions do. It comes with annual pass for everybody in your immediate family, and free transportation. And I don't mean on a bus. They'll actually come pick you up in a town car and take you to whatever park. And I don't think it's to the front gate. I think they're dropping you over at the back door. And
nice.
Yeah, so I know that's the way Disney's doing it. I don't know how the Four Seasons is going to stack up to that. I'm sure they're going to have to work something out with Disney. Because, hey, if I'm dropping $10 million, I don't want to get on a Four Seasons bus.
Right? No kidding.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people who have property there actually live there versus it, live there full time versus it being like maybe a winter home.
Yeah, I hear the percentage is getting, it's growing a little bit, but there is a lot of people are just using it right now for a vacation home. And there's only a handful that actually live there year round that have kind of retired to, Golden Oaks. Listen, if I had the money, that's where I'd want to retire. I mean, come on. I also know that for the Disney's Golden Oaks, you can get a chef to come to your house and cook your dinner. You don't have to, go somewhere. They'll grocery shop for you. They'll, do anything that you, want within reason. There's, 24-hour concierge. 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't feel like, going out to the supermarket. Just tell somebody to bring something to you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on. I'm going to have to work on it a little bit harder. I'm trying to get on some people that work there at Golden Oaks to see if they'll come on and talk about, the whole program. I invited the salespeople, but she's like, "Oh, we don't think your podcast would attract the audience that we're really looking for." I'm like, "Listen, lady, how do you know? I don't know if anybody in my audience has got $1.2 million to buy one. Why are you eliminating them from the equation?" So I found some people that work there, so I'm gonna see if I can work on them and see if they can come on.
Yeah. That's crazy that they want to take the time to do that because you don't know who's listening.
You don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the demographics of every single person in my audience.
Well, see, for all you know, you could have some celebrity that,
Yeah, sure.
Angelina Jolie could be listening to your podcast. They don't know.
It would be
we
funny.
Don't know.
That would be funny, but yeah. I better stop talking badly about her then. In that terrible movie Maleficent she did.
Now, see, Siri, the person who does the voice of Siri, follows me on Twitter. For all I know, she could be listening to this. Sure. I mean, it's one of those things. You don't know who's listening. I always tell people.
I don't predict any weather in your forecast today. No, she doesn't.
I used to tell, when I was a retail manager, I used to tell all of my associates, I'm like, do not discount somebody based on the way they're dressed because you don't know who that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know. So, okay, let's get back to Lickety Split again.
Yep.
And talk a little bit about the Barista Bootcamp. And I do have the dates and the stuff of when that is offered. But
okay.
You got to attend this on behalf of Dining at Disney.
Right.
And because since I can't go, you get to do all the yummy. You have the hard job, the yummy food eating.
Poor me.
Oh,
you got to move. You should move down here.
Oh, it's. Hey, if I win the lottery, I will have a house there.
All right,
that's guaranteed.
There you go. Yeah,
just need to win the lottery.
Yeah,
and so this takes place over at Lickety Split in Four Seasons,
right?
And it just started. It's had.
I think the first one was
so far.
Yeah, right. The first one
December
was
December 5th. What's the first one?
Yep.
Okay, so since you got to do this, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about how do they have this structured? Yeah,
so it's 2 hours, and I think we were like the guinea pigs because we did this before the first class, which is fine. I don't mind being the test crash dummy. Allison Buckard, who is the manager of Lickety Split, I would like to get inside her head and pull out all her coffee knowledge. She is a walking encyclopedia, hands down, of coffee. You name a coffee region or bean or whatever, and she can tell you anything about temperature, texture, flavor, caffeine, anything about coffee. This woman does it. And once again, that's a testament to Stephen hiring the right people for the right job, and this woman knocks it out of the park. Really is killer. So she kind of gave us this little. First, she gave us an overview of coffee, and where the Four Seasons gets their coffee from. It's a specific coffee made just for the Four Seasons. Duh, no surprise there. They have their own bourbon, they have their own wine. Why not their own coffee? The machine that they use to make their coffee is the only one outside of Italy. The company the company that makes it is an Italian company, and they don't export. But they were able to convince this company to send them, this machine because they thought it was the best machine to make coffee. That's number one. Number two, it costs as much as a mid-sized car. She wouldn't tell us the exact amount, but she said, just think of a mid-sized car, average price, that's what this machine costs. And I said, it just makes coffee? Nothing else?
Gosh.
So only the best. Their coffee is, let me make sure I get this right. It's Umbra, right? I think is the name. And they choose, this also an Italian coffee company that's making this coffee blend for them. And I'm going to say, maybe I shouldn't say it. There's a brand of coffee company, starts with an S, that sometimes I think their coffee is bitter. And I was asking her,
It is bitter coffee.
And I said, should the coffee be bitter? And she says, no, it shouldn't be bitter. Then they're not grinding it or brewing it or brewing it at the right temperature. And that's probably what's causing the bitter taste. So she says it could be the bean, but most likely it's not the bean. So, and then I said to her, I said, well, I always heard this rumor that this S-based company adds like a chicory to their blend to give it extra body or extra flavor. And she says, that's probably just a myth. You wouldn't add chicory to coffee. So have you ever heard that?
I haven't heard that about that company, but chicory is very popular in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And they there's a company, Community Coffee, and they actually put chicory in with their coffee, and it tastes awful. Right. Some people love it. We when I worked for Copeland's New Orleans, we had it on Saturday and Sunday during brunch because very few people liked it, and those who did normally were the ones that were coming in to brunch. Yeah, and it was just. It's just I don't like it. It's gross. Yeah. It makes it taste like bitter dirt. Yeah. At least that's what I would imagine dirt to kind of taste like would be chicory. So.
Right. And they grind. When they go to make you a coffee, they grind. The coffee fresh so that it's not pre-ground. They grind it fresh. Put it in I forgot the name of the little thing for the espresso thing. It has a specific name. And she was saying that they have to adjust the way they grind because of the humidity in Florida. It starts out kind of dry during the day, and then, as noon comes, the humidity goes up. So they have to adjust the grinder so that they're getting the perfect grind on the coffee each time. So as the day goes on, they're adjusting the grinder to make sure they're getting the perfect grind. They wanted a certain, not too fine, not too coarse. They want like this specific kind of coarseness to the coffee where it'll extract that flavor that they're looking for. So they just it's crazy stuff that you don't think of when you're making a cup of coffee. I said, I drop a pot in and I'm done. She's like, yeah. So she kind of gave us an overview, and then she showed us how to make a cappuccino first. So she's telling us, you have to grind it a certain way. You want a certain grind. You fill it up, and then you have to tamp.
Now, is the grind different than the grind that you would want for a regular cup of coffee?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you tamp it in there, and then she says everybody's got a certain way of, kind of tamping and swirling, but you want to put, what I think she said something like 30 feet-pound of pressure. I'm like, well, how do I know I'm putting that amount of pressure? So you want to make sure that you put enough pressure in there that you get a nice compact, and then she does this swirl. Everybody's got this way of kind of doing their thing. You put it in the machine, and you don't, for cappuccino, you don't start the coffee until you have the milk going. So then you start your milk, and you start kind of with the steamer. You start down at the bottom at maybe a 30-degree angle tilt, and you want to hear that. And once that starts and the milk starts swirling, then you start to straighten it out, and you want to create like a vortex, so you see the milk swirling. Once you have that, you want to then slowly move the steamer up so that you're heating the milk, and you get this nice froth. Then you want to take that container, that metal container, and you want to tap it and swirl it so that you create that foamy froth. You're kind of getting rid of those micro bubbles. Listen, I had no idea. This is all stuff cool in my head now, right? So you're getting rid of these micro bubbles so that you're getting this foam. And a cappuccino, that milk cup, has a very round edge. So then you make your coffee once you start your steam going, so you can still swirl and tamp with your milk, get your coffee going, get the coffee goes directly in the cup, and then you slowly pour in your milk, and then you slowly pull up so that you're dropping kind of the milk down the side and into the cup, and then you'll get a nice froth on it. And that's it. Boom, you're done. And that's a perfect cappuccino.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was very interesting. And then they had us do. So she demonstrated it once, and then we broke up into a couple different groups. They had the one super machine and then two little smaller machines. So there was a couple groups out there, a couple of groups behind, and we got to make our own, which somebody's with you doing it. Obviously, kind of walking through the procedure. We didn't have to go through the whole grind. The company that makes their coffee they have some espresso pods that they're now making. And Stephen was telling me too that in a couple months they're going to actually have that coffee. They're actually going to make Keurig pods for the first time, and Four Seasons will be the only brand in the world right now to have this ombre Keurig pods in the rooms.
Nice.
So they're getting rid of the Keurig branded ones and going with this specific Four Seasons brand. So when you're in your hotel room, you'll have really good coffee, allegedly. I don't know if it'll be better or worse than a Keurig. I think that you probably want it fresh. I think the Keurig thing messes up coffee. But anyway, so then after that, then she showed us how to make a latte, which is kind of the same process, except with a latte, you can put the coffee in first while you're making the milk. You don't have to wait. The steaming is almost the same, but you want it more flat. You don't want it so foamy. And then as you're pouring it in with a latte, you can kind of make those cookie designs. So they had us, we kind of poured it down the side, and then we tilted it up, and then if you shake it back and forth, it kind of almost looks like a little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of shake it, and once you get to the end, you go quickly up the middle, and it kind of makes, the middle of the tree. So we kind of got like a little Christmas tree design.
That's cool.
In a latte. There's pictures of mine, and you can probably see by the pictures that I did not really make a Christmas tree.
All those things take practice.
Yeah. They even she even made a snowman. I think I sent you a picture of that that you can use on the blog. She had like syrup too that she was making the eyes and things on a toothpick. Putting, now
they make all their syrups there, right? Or is it just select flavors? I know that they had their pumpkin spice was house made in the fall.
Yeah, probably.
Because they had a little sign that said, house made pumpkin spice. I was like, okay, I'm going to try that. If it's house made.
I think like the hazelnut and the vanilla flavor, they do make those. The chocolate syrup, I'm not sure of. I think I saw that kind of coming out of something bigger. I'm not sure. I don't think they made that. And then after that, she was telling us about the whole iced coffee contraption. Iced coffee's got the most caffeine in it. And I didn't know that. She said, what do you think has more caffeine, a shot of espresso or a shot of iced coffee? And everybody's like, oh, espresso. And the answer is wrong. Iced coffee.
Why did she say why?
She really didn't say why. I think it's the slow drip process. So, they have this big contraption on the counter, but we found some on Amazon while we were there, like a smaller home version that you can buy on Amazon. It's like $23 for like a little pot. So it starts with cold water, iced water, that drips like a drop into coffee, which is kind of compressed with a filter on the top. So the water drips to the filter and then it kind of seeps into the coffee. and it takes 8 hours to make like that big container down at the bottom. So every night when they close, they start that process to make the dripped coffee, so that they'll have some in the morning. And so if you don't get there, it could be gone. You may ask for the iced coffee and there isn't any, because once it's gone, it's gone. So then it kind of goes through that thing, swirly little thing, and then it kind of just drips into the coffee, which is very interesting. But there's something else about that too. Oh, so their water. So I was asking about the water. The water in Florida is swamp. It could kill a person if you drink it.
And it smells awful.
Yeah.
It smells like toilet water.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's god awful. And I said, how do you make good coffee, from the swamp water? And they have a special triple filter system that filters out all the garbage to get, the perfect, pH balanced kind of water, that they're looking for that will, make good coffee. And then they use that to make the iced coffee. It's the water that's used in the machines. It's the water that's used to make the pastries, the gelato, or whatever. They don't just turn on the faucet and start making things. They have to use the filtered water. And then at the end we made a iced coffee float. So we got to pick a gelato ice cream with some iced coffee. You could have a shot of like Bailey's or bourbon in it. You can make an adult beverage if you wanted. And then they had like a little toppings bar. You could put, cookie crumbles or chocolate or marshmallows or all kinds of little dessert topping kind of things on your adult beverage if you wanted to. And that was the last thing we did. So that all took like 2 hours to do all of that, believe it or not.
And so what did you make?
I had vanilla and chocolate gelato with my iced coffee, and I put I think they were Oreos, crushed Oreos, some chocolate syrup, chocolate chips, and some tiny marshmallows. I just didn't put any alcohol on mine. I don't need
bourbon in that.
Yeah, no bourbon, no Baileys. I didn't need the extra kick. But that was it. We had a good time. It was like I said, this woman is fascinating. Her team are also really nice, really good, and they are experts too. I mean, the woman the two different people that I was working with, really, are probably just as smart as Allison. And from what I was told, or what we all were told, was not everybody that was hired was a coffee expert. Allison trained these people to be coffee experts. Taught them the correct ways of, making a correct espresso, correct cappuccino, correct, mocha, etc.
Wow.
And I think they hired the right people, because these people seem to be trainable, because I felt like they were just as good as Allison, and just as.
Now, did she say where she learned how she managed to learn so much about coffee?
She did. She worked for a Seattle. She worked for Cafe Umbra, the company that's making the coffee for the Four Seasons. So
okay.
Maybe they just stole her from there. Maybe when they were looking for. Now she said there's another guy at Four Seasons Corporate. I'm using my air quotes. Who she kind of travels around with sometimes when they're looking for. This guy goes and picks the coffee beans that he wants to be used in the Four Seasons blend. And he actually goes and tastes them to make sure that and he'll say, yes, these beans are okay on this tree. Yes, these beans are okay on this tree. And this guy goes and does this. And I think she's going on a trip with him to Colombia, I think, soon. But she says that this guy can taste the difference between, one bean from another. And I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have those kind of skills. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense skill to have.
Yeah.
I mean, because especially with coffee.
Yeah. If you if you've ever seen like Gordon Ramsay on his show, when he blindfolds the chefs and he makes them taste things. I think Gordon Ramsay's got that kind of mad skill too, where he can, tell the difference between things. My eyes closed, you could put dirt in my mouth, I'd go, oh, is that filet mignon? I would have no idea. I really would. I think sometimes my taste buds are shot, I'm
pretty good at that.
Yeah.
My dad always likes to, whenever he's made something and I go by the house and he's like, oh, here, I tried this new recipe. Tell me what you think's in it. And he'll have me like taste it. Right. And I'm like, well, I taste this and I taste that and this. And,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that, but there's no way I could do that with coffee.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference between, certain blends of coffee, but sometimes it's just, I don't think coffee's an easy thing to be able to this is a citrusy and this is has
this is from Colombia and this is a little bit harder. Yeah. I would not be able to tell you. And they gave us this handout at the boot camp, and I'm not sure. I hope they give this to everybody that goes, because it's really a lot of fun information on coffee. They talk about and this is in Italian, the 4 M's, which is I can't even say these words. I'll probably beat the hell out of them. But this kind of is she was telling us a little bit about this, on how the process is, and, what the difference is between, the different kinds of coffee, like an espresso, a macchiato, a cappuccino, a cafe latte. So it was interesting, to read this afterwards. And then where, all the different kinds of coffee providers, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, Kenya, Mexico, Nicaragua, Peru, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda. I mean, I guess coffee doesn't come anywhere from America.
Right.
Apparently, we don't have any American coffee growers. And
wrong climate.
I guess. Because
every place, pretty much, most of the places that grow coffee are
rainforesty
and southern. Yeah. South America, Africa, those kind of places.
Yeah, and you do get a little goodie bag as a takeaway. What did it say? Each guest will depart with a fun takeaway bag filled with decadent delights from Lickety Split. So I think they're going to give you some coffee and some other goodies to take away. The price for this is $75 per person. And I would tell you it's worth every dollar. If you like coffee and you want to know really, how your favorite place makes coffee, you can now take this class and then go there and say, "Excuse me, are you doing that wrong?"
That's not a bad price at all for a cooking class.
No.
I mean,
not at the Four Seasons.
Oh, no, especially being Four Seasons. But in Nashville, there used to be a Viking store here, and they had cooking classes, and theirs were 2 hours long and ran about the same price. And this was like maybe 6 years ago, something like that. Yeah. I mean, they ended up shutting the location down for one reason or another. My guess is probably cost of rent for the location it was in. But $75. Yeah, I'd easily do that for $75. Yeah, and they were saying that this may be very popular, that they may have to move it down to the demo kitchen in Ravello, because they really can't take a lot of people for each class in order to give them each one the hands-on experience and keep it within the 2-hour limit. So if you do want to take this, it's highly recommended that you obviously you have to make a reservation. You have to call and make a reservation. But
for this, it's only, the month of December, and then they're going to probably do something else.
Yeah, I've got the dates as being the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th.
Right. And this is part of a larger program called the Four Seasons Entertainment University. I think each resort is doing something a little bit different. And this was the first, thing for the Four Seasons here in Walt Disney World. They also gave us a little surprise. Maybe I could talk about the little surprise they did afterwards. They had the tree lighting.
Let's talk about the tree lighting.
So last year, they opened up, they soft opened in August, September, and then they had their official open in October. And they really didn't, they said they didn't really do a traditional, Christmas tree lighting. Their decorations were kind of wonky. So this year they wanted to have an official tree lighting because now they've been open a year. So Tom Steinhauser, I think he's called the president of the Four Seasons. He's the general manager of the entire property. He came, gave a couple little words, and then they lit the Christmas tree. And out came our buddy Mickey Mouse. Totally blew everybody away. It was Mickey in his little Christmas gear, his little Christmas caroling outfit. And Mickey came out and gave hugs and blinked for everybody. Now that Mickey can blink.
That's so strange.
There was an ambassador with him, one of the Walt Disney World ambassadors, Nathaniel. He didn't do a lot of talking, but I kind of talked to him afterwards. Because that's a long tradition that I don't think a lot of people know about the Walt Disney World ambassadors and what that whole program is. But yeah, so it was fun to. A lot of the kids in the hotel were, freaking out that Mickey was, in the lobby, like, Mickey's here.
How many ambassadors does Disney have? Do you know?
Oh my God, I think there's something like I want to say like 12 or 14 of them. Yeah, it started.
That's pretty cool job.
I saw what was it? The D23, not this past one, but the one before. There was a panel, a Disney ambassador panel that I attended. And it really started when Walt could not get to all these different events. And he would send these ambassadors on his behalf. And they would talk or speak, as, Walt. Like Walt would kind of, I guess Marty would write the speech or whatever. And, if Walt couldn't go, then the ambassador would go and give that speech. And they really are speaking on behalf of Walt. And I don't think everybody gets what they are and what that whole program is. And they still continue that tradition today. Speaking on behalf of, unfortunately Walt's dead, but on behalf of Walt Disney Company now, in a sense.
Well, that's like she might have been the first. Actually, she is Disneyland's first ambassador. Julie Caselnova. Yeah, yes. She was inducted this year into the Disney Legends.
I met her at a Destination D event here in Florida. And as she was leaving the convention area, the Contemporary, walking to the valet stand to get her car, and I was walking, and I noticed it was her, and I started talking with her as we were going to the valet stand. And I would love to have a in-depth conversation with her. That would be fantastic. Yeah, there's a whole tartan that they used to wear. If you go to the Disney Archives, up on the wall, I'll have to find that email. Up on the wall, there's a Disney tartan, like they used to wear the plaid vests and whatnot.
Yeah. And
the plaid skirts for the women. And I had said to the woman there, I said, do we know, like, where this is? Was this custom made? Is this... and she said, I'm not really sure. She said, give me your email address. I'll find out and then send you the answer. I'm like, I'll never hear from this lady ever again. A couple of weeks later, she sent me the whole 9 yards, the whole history on, who made it. Yes, it was custom. Yes, it's now a registered Disney tartan in Ireland or Scotland, wherever they register these tartans from.
Oh my gosh.
So I got the whole. I should probably pull out that email and find it again. So yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I deviated from topic again.
It's all good.
I have a habit of doing that.
And see, it's very easy for me to do that. So Aljon's always trying to reel me in, like, you're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Come back. This is what we were talking about.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So, what do we know about? All right. So, Lickety Split. They do have pastries in there too, and they do make their own gelato. They make their own pastries. The on-property pastry team and pastry chef makes their own pastries that they have, and then they make their own gelato. They don't buy gelato from somewhere. They make their own gelato. So they have gelato, coffee, and then sandwiches. Like Kristen was saying, if God forbid it's raining outside, I just say go to PB&G if you can. You don't want a sandwich made, or a roll up or a wrap or whatever. If you can get a good sandwich from PB&G. And then we had dinner at Kappa, which is great food. They just had a James Beard dinner.
Yes, the dinner.
Yeah. I was trying to convince my way into that. I was trying to.
Didn't work.
Did not work. I'm like, can I come? Maybe take pictures. Maybe get some scraps. Scraps of dinner. That looks really, 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 really good. Yeah, that's
a once in a lifetime type event to go to too.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be doing some more of these type of things. And then so PB&G, and then don't forget Plancha, a great place at the golf course, kind of tucked away from the hotel building itself. You can go to the hotel building and then walk there if you can't find Plancha, the golf course. Actually, it's Tranquillo, the golf course. It's Plancha, the restaurant. And they have some great Cuban food there. And I know Chris, I think, was just telling me too that they're going to be changing up their menu a little bit too for the winter season. Different ingredients for the winter, so they change up their menu. So it should be good.
I can't wait to try that place because that's Plancha and PB&G are the two that I haven't done yet.
Well, when you come in February, we'll do both.
List.
Yeah, we'll do both in February.
I'll either be there in January or February. Yeah. I know one or the other. It just depends on what.
Let me know. Yeah. I will alert the media. I'll tell Chris over at Plancha that we're coming, and I'm sure he'll set up a table for us. And PB&G's got a new manager too. I'm gonna have to go. Back out there and introduce myself again. So, and then PB&G also has their own bourbon, their own Four Seasons bourbon. So if you're into bourbon,
I'm not a bourbon person.
Yeah, me neither.
Now, I've had some fantastic, I will try a cocktail if I'm in some place like Four Seasons.
Yeah.
I will absolutely try a cocktail that has scotch or bourbon, whiskey, something like that in it.
Right.
That's not that's just not normally what I order. But in a place like that, I know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that even people who don't like bourbon will like the bourbon cocktail because they just make those drinks so perfectly.
Right. After the tree lighting, Dana had taken us to the lobby bar for some cocktails and snacks. I always want to call it the Ravella bar. I don't know why they changed the name of it to lobby bar.
Did it used to be Ravella bar?
Yeah, it used to be called the Ravella bar. I don't know why. I guess because they want people downstairs that should be the Ravella bar. I don't know. It's in the same space.
Maybe it was confusing people?
Maybe, I guess. Yeah. So we had a cocktail there. I had a kind of a little spicy cocktail. I forgot what the name of that thing was. It was a little bit on the spicy hot side.
Huh.
Which I
Peppers in it?
yes, it was a jalapeno infused vodka.
Oh, nice.
So, what else did they have? They had some meat and cheese kind of snacks. What did they have? Pretzel bread with beer cheese, which was pretty good. Homemade chips with a homemade, like ranch dip. Had like real onions and real chives in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't, some powdered thing they probably whipped together with some sour cream. I think they made their own sour cream, probably.
It was not Hidden Valley.
It was not Hidden Valley, I can guarantee that. What else was there? I think that was it. There's only like a couple things. That was fun. That was fun, just sitting there talking. I was actually talking to Dana's boss. Oh, my God. Alan, I think was his name.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was good. I had fun time. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I wish I lived closer so I could go.
Yeah.
Just 10.5 hours for a drive is just more than...
For 2 hours, yeah. For a 2-hour event, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's always make my trips, all my trips are always long trips. Like when I go in the fall, it's always like 10, 11 days that I'm down there.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, why do you go for so long? I'm like, because once I'm there, I have a list of things I must accomplish. It's like, I must eat here and here and here and here. Right. And it's time to go back to this place because it's been, 2 years.
Right. Actually, I have.
And if I can drive that long, I'm going to make it last.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have, God, I have too much garbage here. Wait, where's your, I have a list of yours. La 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 da 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 da. Where'd it go? I don't know. I have, no. Where? I don't know where I have a list.
A list of what?
You had on your website a list of the Disney restaurants.
Yes.
And I printed it out because I don't know where it went.
That is I would have to say is one of the most difficult things for me to keep up with. Not living down there and being able to regularly see what's going on everywhere is to keep up with all the Disney restaurants. That's one of the things that's on my to-do list to have done this winter is to go through all of the restaurants again and make sure that all the information is updated and there's nothing missing. Because I just was working on some of the downtown. Not downtown. Disney Springs. Disney Springs. On updating some of those, adding them in. And then the other thing I'm making sure that I add is the Four Seasons restaurants, as well as Waldorf Astoria. I'm going to expand those because they're, to me, anything within the Disney gates it's a Disney restaurant. Now, it might not be owned and operated or the hotel owned and operated by Disney, but it's easily something to get to. Right. That, if you're staying on property, it's not going to be something you're not going to be able to go do. Yeah. Yeah. So I was kind of using it as a checklist to make sure I had gone to every place. Have you accomplished all of yours? No. So Cinderella's Table. Okay. Victoria and Albert. You haven't done Victoria and Albert. I have not done Victoria and Albert, and I don't know if I will. It's the dress code. You should have done it when it was on the... I should have done it when it was Tables in Wonderland. It's the dress code that I don't like. Yeah. I refuse to put on a jacket to go eat dinner. Especially when I live in the vacation capital of the world. What was the other one? In Epcot, the little rotating restaurant over in the land. Oh, Garden Grill. Garden Grill. Have not been to Garden Grill either. Okay. Yeah. And then Bonnet Creek, I haven't been to Bull and Bear. I've been to Little Lucci.
I have not been to Bull and Bear. What else is over there? There's something else over there, isn't there?
There's Oscars that has breakfast.
Yeah, I haven't been to
And
Oscars.
then they have Peacock Alley, which is the lounge.
Okay.
That's right off the lobby.
Right.
And they do a really, really nice on Sundays at tea time.
Oh, okay. See,
It's good. It's fun.
yeah. I think I saw pictures of when you posted. I think you did that last time. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So I haven't been to all the Bonnet Creek stuff either. Swan and Dolphin, I haven't been to Shula's.
That's the only place over there that I haven't gone into.
Yeah, I've been to all the
One
others.
time that was on the list and I was going to do it. The person that I was with was like, last minute was like the day before, let's cancel it. I don't want to do that. Let's go do this instead. And
Really?
I'm like, okay.
There's a Shula Burgers by me too. I'd like to try that. Compare it to like Five Guys. You know.
I still haven't been to Five Guys and we have them up here. I know. I'm not a big burger person.
Really?
I leave that to Aljon. Aljon is like a red meat. That's his thing. He loves steaks and he loves burgers.
Yeah.
And he's always looking for the best burger, the best steak, and the best bread pudding. Those are his things.
Hopefully, bread pudding. Hopefully, when you come down here, they bumped back. Wahlburgers was supposed to open December. Now it's maybe not until January. So maybe they'll be open.
That place I want to try.
Yeah, I do too. I want to see, if they are really that good. And then what was that? Carlos Bakery just opened here in the Florida Mall. I hope to get over there. Well, I've been to the ones in Jersey. I don't know if I need to go to the Florida Mall. It's probably just the same. Maybe it's cheaper down here. I know the one. I know I bought some biscotti last year for Christmas, and it was something like $40 worth of biscotti.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. He charges by the pound.
What is it per pound?
A lot.
Apparently so. Either that, or I hope you came home with a suitcase filled with it.
No, I did not. No. He charges by the pound for biscotti. And biscotti is a pretty dense pastry,
Yeah.
It's smart thinking. Rather than by the piece, he's by the pound.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. They were good. They weren't great. They weren't like super great. They were pretty good. Now, I had his cannolis probably 2 years ago, right? Not this year, Food and Wine. Last year, Food and Wine. So he was doing one of those, cooking with yada yada, and he flew down. He made the shells that day, flew down. Okay, he bought an extra seat on the plane to put the shells, then made the cream fresh, and then piped it in there before they were served, so that the shells wouldn't get soggy. Now, that's a man dedicated to cannolis.
Yes.
But I would have met.
Were they that good?
They were excellent.
Okay.
Probably the best cannolis I've had in a really, really long time. And even if you go to his stores, they're not pre-stuffed. You say you want 3 of them, boom, boom, boom. They fill them right there with cream that's made that day. They don't keep it. Boom, it's done. It's over for that day. And then all the shells are made fresh too. So
wow.
It's a dedication to pastry, my friend Carlos Bakery. Yeah.
Yeah, the best cannoli I've ever had was in Sicily. So
wow.
That was like when we got there, I was like, okay, Sicily is known for cannolis, and that's one of my favorite desserts is cannolis because it's sweet, but it's not too sweet, which I think seems to be true of most Italian desserts.
Right.
That they're sweet, but not, they're not too sugarly sweet. But best cannoli, I was like, we have to go have this. And everybody had a bite, and then we bought more of them.
Yeah.
And we bought some to take back on the show because they were that good.
I would have.
I was like, this is the best thing I think I've ever eaten. It was just that good.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're going to go to Parma, you get Parmesan cheese. You go to Naples, you're going to get pizza. You go to wherever you get the cannolis. It's just what you got to do. You know,
you have to. You have to go if you're traveling. You have to try what that place is known for.
Right.
If they have a particular food, you got to try it. Like if you come to Nashville, you have to try hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken, unless you're somebody who can't handle hot food.
Like hot as in spicy.
Like hot as in spicy.
Oh yeah, no, that's not good for me.
It is really spicy.
Wow. Now, what do they make it with that makes it so spicy typically?
I don't know what the seasonings are that are in the hot chicken. All I know is I went to one of the places that you sweat eating it because it was that hot. Had a lot of flavor, but it really was hot.
Yeah. So why is Nashville known for hot chicken?
I don't know.
I would have thought it would have been like fried chicken, like Southern.
It is a fried chicken, but it's hot. It's like
collard greens or something.
It has really spicy ingredients that they put in with it.
Yeah, I haven't been to Nashville since the 80s.
Oh, it doesn't even look like the same place. You would think you were like completely. You visited some place you've never seen before because it's completely different. When I moved here 23 years ago,
holy mackerel!
It doesn't look like the same city to me. Yeah. And I moved here in the 90s, so
wow.
You have to come up here sometime, Tony.
Yeah, I do. I'll have to come up there and check out the food scene.
It's growing.
Yeah.
One thing about Nashville is its food scene is growing, and I have people ask me like, why don't you have a food blog about eating in Nashville?
Yeah,
you live in Nashville.
Yeah.
Why do you do Disney? And I'm like, well, first of all, I can only spend so much money in Orlando when I'm there. You know?
Right.
I live here, which means every day I could go and spend money eating to keep up with all of it. And
yeah.
I don't make the kind of money to afford my eating habit that would.
And you don't always want to go as an invited guest because then you feel some obligation to say nice things. You know, like when
I don't. That's one of my things is I know what you're saying, but I feel that's the one thing that I'm like, just because you give me something complimentary doesn't mean I'm going to give you a great review. Yeah. Because I cannot justify writing something that's not true. Right. If I didn't enjoy it or there was something I didn't like about it, I'm going to put in there, I didn't like this, which I have done with some of my reviews. And at the bottom, it says like that this was something that I received complimentary because that is something that people should know.
Right.
You know, I did not pay for this. This was, received at a discount or, like with this, the Barista Bootcamp, you got to do that. It was a complimentary experience that was gifted to us by Four Seasons.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But I don't think they could screw anything up. The Four Seasons. No,
and that's part of why I choose.
I think they would have a really hard time screwing up something.
And that's the other thing is I turn down things because I don't want to write a bad review of something.
Right.
So I always try and work with the companies and brands that I really enjoy, that I know I'm going to have a good experience at, because that does make writing that review a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Then you don't feel bad that if you're going to have to rate something bad.
True. Very true.
Because the chances are slim of it happening.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. I haven't had any experience at Four Seasons or Waldorf Astoria that has not been absolutely amazing. Both of those teams that they have running their food and beverage departments are phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, our buddy Steven's doing a little world tour too. I think he's going to Tokyo, Vegas, and something else for some food event things. So,
wow.
Just follow him on Facebook, obviously. What was was the other thing? Oh, that pops into my head. Oh, I hear STK may be opening soon. Soon.
How soon?
I'm not sure. But it's also owned by the same people that own Marimoto and Via Napoli Patina Group.
Okay.
So, if you know any media people there, it should be the same team, doing it.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I went to STK New York online to look at the menu, kind of get an idea of what to expect. And there's no prices on the menu. So I emailed them like, hey, dig the menu, but there's nothing on it. There's no prices. So she's like, well, we don't put our prices because they change. All right, I get that, but like ballpark it for me.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, which restaurant are you looking at? And we can send you a menu with prices, but you have to understand that. Fine, I get it. Send me the one for New York so I can get an idea of what the prices are. They are not cheap.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, they're going to make the Boathouse look like McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah. They have.
So we need to start a GoFundMe account for dining there.
You might, because steak. What do they have? I mean, categories are small, medium, and large. And then, small, they had like, a 6-ounce filet, a 6-ounce like strip, New York strip, 3 or 4 different steaks on the small. And then they had 3. I think once you got to the large, you needed a second mortgage. It was,
wow.
I think it was something like, I think it was like a 12-ounce filet. I think it was, I don't know, something like $75 or something like that. I'm like, holy mackerel, that's crazy, That's
pretty pricey.
Yeah, and everything obviously is a la carte. There's nothing included. You get a steak. That's it.
That's where if it does not come out perfect, you do send it back.
Oh, yeah. Because there's no side, no vegetable, no nothing. Nothing was, boom, steak. That's it. So either you have an appetizer and you just get a steak, or you pay for some sides. Hopefully the sides are, large enough for 2 people to share at least.
Like the Boathouse.
Yeah. That's not too bad then. But we'll have to see. I know the building is like, pretty close to done. So.
That's
and
good.
They've been hiring for months. I think they've been working at Marimoto's just to kind of get servers up to speed and busters up to speed. Obviously, it'll be different, but at least they're getting them trained. So we'll see.
Been used to the busyness that is Disney.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I ate at Marimoto's again. Believe it or not, I should get a punch card.
6?
I don't know, 5, 6. I need a punch card for that restaurant. Next
time I'm going to go and do sushi because we didn't try the sushi last time.
All right, let me know. I'll do some sushi.
Okay.
They have the like a tower sushi thing we might want to
do. Ooh.
Yeah. And I also heard still again the last time I was there is the sushi upstairs is different than the sushi downstairs. Because upstairs, it's all the fresh market fish.
Yeah.
And they don't, I don't know. You can only get it.
Have you been upstairs yet?
I've not been at the sushi bar. No. But I saw this 3-tower thing. And I said to the guy, I said, what is that? I don't see anything on the menu that says 3-tower thing. She's like, oh, that's a custom sushi platter thing. I'm like, wow. I said, what does that cost? Well, it depends on what you have in it. Could be 75, 150, whatever. All right, whatever. If you like sushi, go on Netflix. There's a movie called Jiro. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
There's a guy, Jiro is the name of the Netflix movie. He's a 80-some-odd-year-old man who lives in Japan. He's been making sushi since he was like a teenager. In his entire life, that's all he's done is made sushi. He's never had any other jobs. Sushi. He has a restaurant in Japan that is always, there's only 12 seats at the bar. And there's no menu. It's whatever he's making. So you go, you sit down, and he just makes, and he puts one piece on your plate, and then he'll make the next, and then one piece on your plate, and the next. And that's the way it's done. Now, there's a guy that worked for him who left, and he's got now a place in New York. And if you Google disciple of Jiro, you'll find this guy in New York. And it's $254 per person for whatever the chef decides that night. And it's, once again, 12 seats. The guy's booked for most of 2016 already at $254 a seat. I said to my family, we were going to New York, and they're like, where do you want to eat? I said, let's try this disciple of sushi guy. And when we looked at it, I said, all right, pass. A, there's not enough seats. There was like 18 of us. And B, nobody wanted to shell out $254 to go see this guy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could do with that.
Yeah.
Morimoto's a lot.
I could go to Victoria and Albert's twice. Probably
That's true.
Twice and a half.
With a wine pairing.
Yeah. So go check out this movie on Netflix, Jiro.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not that, I don't think it's a whole 2 hours, but it's a very interesting thing. He's got a whole special way he makes it. His son is now taking over, his oldest son is taking over the original location, and his younger son is taking over the second location. And I think he's kind of retiring. He's like 89 or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, Jiro. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, they have a whole special process to do the whole, special rice, special fish, special everything. Yeah. And it's got this weird way of making you got to watch it. That's watch it. You'll be like, what the? So, all right.
Educational video, right?
Yeah. Well, let's say edutainment. A little educational, a little entertainment. You know,
very Disney-like then, huh?
Yeah. I heard it on Kelly and Michael. They were talking about this guy Jiro.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
So we've got STK coming soon.
STK, Rick Bayless.
Do you know where that place is going?
I think it's going to go across from STK. No. Rick Bayless, I think, is going on the other side. It's going to be more in the town center area from the artist renditions I saw. Okay. Across from STK is going to be Edison's and Neverland. And then Art Smith, I also think, is going to go out in town center as well, because his renderings have this same kind of look as Bayless. And they're not the modern looks. It's more of the town center look that their renderings have. So
there's going to be so many places to eat.
Yeah. I was telling, when I was talking on I think the last podcast, maybe podcast before last, where they built the one parking garage, if you're all the way at the far end of the orange parking garage and you're kind of looking at, what they're building, where in front of Planet Hollywood,
okay,
that whole area, all the way out to the street, is where the new buses will go.
Wow.
The entire area. It is massive. There's like 3 rows, of the little bus thingies. And I'm like, wait a minute. You have a bus stop at one end already, the marketplace. You have a bus stop that you could use that probably just needs a little expansion over by Lanuba. You could have had another 20 shops and restaurants where you have buses, I find that a colossal waste of space.
Unless they're planning on, they must be planning on busing a lot of people in then.
Well, you have to remember, too, that they are expanding Buena Vista Street, Boulevard Street, Avenue, whatever the hell. I can't remember the last, whatever that thing is. Buena Vista, whatever it is. They're expanding. It's going to be 5 lanes with a dedicated bus lane in the middle. So buses won't have to sit in that traffic.
Oh, that's good.
Get right into that bus lane, get right into the bus area without interrupting any of the flow of traffic on Buena Vista.
That's good.
That is their intention. Now, if that happens, do they shut down the other ones because they'll have this huge dedicated bus area? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. Are they going to have the other bus stops? I don't know. Because right now, if you were to walk, let's say you got off a bus, you would be able to walk straight through to the boat and take a boat to either end. Because that's where the new boat dock is, right next to the hangar bar. So we'll see. What other? Oh, Planet Hollywood, I think in January is laying off 400 and whatever people. They gave their notice to the state of Florida that they're laying off 458 people, something like that, temporarily until their construction is done. I'm going to assume
that going under refurbishment next year too.
Yeah. I'm assuming Planet Hollywood is a complete gut job.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I noticed from the one renderings that on the backside of the ball, they're going to put an outside seating area. So I don't think that's going to be easy or cheap to do. To spend something off the globe, the board.
That would be kind of a cool place to sit and people watch and everything that's going out in the.
I had dinner upstairs, second floor, Marimoto's outside, and that will be a fun place to eat as well because that will kind of be looking out over town center. They haven't opened up downstairs eating outside because it's just a construction wall. You can't even see over the wall or nothing. It's just like. So they haven't sat anybody out there, but upstairs you can see over the wall. So they've allowed people to eat out there. So we had dinner out there one night already, and it's nice. No, you don't get a bus. You don't get a view of the bus stop. Thank God, that would be bad. Can you throttle it back a little? I can't have my sushi. I hope they're thinking of those things when they build that monster. I don't know.
Trying to think other food places opening.
Ganache is opening.
Matt, that's supposed to open this month, right?
Yes, I think soon. This week. I think this weekend. Ganache is going to open. Yeah, I'm not going to have time to get down there.
I'll be looking out for some of those pictures then. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get down there before I go away. Maybe Sunday. No, I don't know. My time is limited in this state.
Time to go home. And
Yeah. Go eat the 7 fishes. That's what you're going to see pictures of. Fish, more fish, other fish. Fried. Baked.
To me, that looks like so much fun, though.
Drowned in butter. We drowned this fish by killing it in butter. We just put it in a big tank of butter. He's dead. Yeah. So.
Let's see. Magic Kingdom, do we know when the Skipper Canteen is opening?
I've heard 2 rumors. One is by the end of the year, before Christmas, to help with the Christmas rush. The other one is not until the new year. I think it's going to happen.
I have read somewhere recently that it wasn't supposed to open until January.
Yeah. I don't know. If they were smart, they'd have it open before the Christmas rush. I think they'll need the space.
That happen?
I think they need it. I think they desperately need it because that place is a zoo for Christmas. A zoo. I mean, you probably saw pictures of what it looked like for Thanksgiving. They were lined up to the monorail station to get into the damn place. I mean,
that's crazy to me.
That is way too much humanity for me.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And I heard it was taking some people an hour to get through bag check. You know, I would listen. If somebody told me I had to wait an hour to get through bag check, bye bye. I'm going to Disney Springs. I'm going iDrive. I'm going anywhere but there. Yeah. There's we had a server at Whispering Canyon who was making the transition to Skipper Cantina. The next day he was going to his training sessions. So I think a lot of people are trying to do that because they're saying that they'll make more money there. I don't know. I don't know. You know.
A lot of changes coming to Disney.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about the new restaurant at Animal Kingdom?
No, have not talked about Tiffin yet.
Yeah.
Another one that's opening.
That should be interesting.
I need to win the lottery so I can easily get down to Florida.
I think the only thing I'm really excited for that's happening over the Animal Kingdom is that nighttime show. I think that'll be good.
I think once Pandora Land or Avatar Land or whatever it's going to be called is complete, I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I was surprised when I did the walkthrough and they had the giant concept display set up of the way that they're looking to build everything, because if it is like they said to scale, it's going to be big. Yeah. Because the people looked very, very tiny in the model. Yeah. And some of the things that they're doing, I thought sounded like they'd be really, really cool. So
for about a week, they had a crane holding up the rock. I guess until they bolted or whatever attached it into place. Just sat there for a week. So, all right. Unfortunately, I have to go. I got other things. I got to work things.
Work things. Okay, so let's wrap it up then, Tony. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at DisneyByTheNumbers.com or at DisneyParksPodcast.com. Either one of those. If you go there, those are the two sites. One is a podcast. One is a website. Disney by the Numbers has a book called Disney by the Numbers. You can find that on Amazon, or you guys are going to give away a copy. Maybe you can link that up somewhere, right?
Yes.
Yep. And that's it. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and all those other crazy sites.
And then as far as Dining at Disney, you can find Dining at Disney at diningatdisney.com on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Periscope, Dining at Disney on YouTube. We are the Dining at Disney. And we are part of the Weeby Geeks Network, so please download and subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us 5-star ratings. We love that. And thanks so much for listening. Until next time, bon appetit.
This podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or its holdings and is intended for entertainment purposes. The next generation is here.
Next stage, next grade, next wave.
The new Sorcerer Radio app version 4.0.
Take your favorite Disney park music and SR shows with you everywhere you go.
The new Sorcerer Radio app version 4.0.
There's a lot of satisfaction in developing ideas into realities.
We went back to the drawing board with an all-new design and features that you've been asking for.
To infinity and beyond!
All new design, daily schedule page, Sorcerer Radio Disney News page, keep on screen, sleep timer, screen lock display, Bluetooth display, visual buffer, iOS 8 compatible, iPad compatible, optimized for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, coming soon to Android. And the best part, it's free.
Download.
The new Sorcerer Radio app version 4.0.
Download it for free.
Thank you for traveling with us.
All Disney music all day long. Sorcerer Radio, srsounds.com.
crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at WeebyGeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?